I don't know. I mean, they have divisions for a reason, yes, but there are some exceptions to the rule. I feel like if we're going to talk about exceptions to the rule, I would definitely put uh, Bud Crawford in that demographic. I feel like Bud Crawford is going to be the one to potentially beat Canelo, although he's coming up from 147 to 168 pounds. I just feel like Bud is a very special fighter. He has all the intangibles, the ring IQ, the ring generalship, the footwork, the speed, the angles, the switch hitting. He just has so many different all around skills. He's all around better than Canelo. The only thing that Canelo has over him is probably his chin is very 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 durable, and he has more power because he's a bigger massive guy. As far as his body size. But other than that, as far as skill wise, Bud Crawford checks a lot more boxes than Canelo does. Canelo Alvarez does. So I want to know y'all opinions, y'all, in the chat. Will Bud Crawford shake up the boxing industry, and actually, will he stop Canelo? Let alone win by decision, but will he actually stop Canelo? Because some people feel like Bud Crawford may stop Canelo, and that's a far stretch to a degree because Canelo has never been dropped in his whole career. But it's that old cliche. Sometimes things happen. It's the first time for everything. So maybe Bud Crawford has that recipe to be able to to hurt Canelo and then capitalize on it. So it's going to be an interesting fight to see for sure. I'm just looking forward to it, y'all. And it's going to be in Las Vegas or whatnot. So they're going to be fighting over on the West Coast here in America. Okay, Mike, where you said that would be a good matchup, Miller versus Wilder. Yeah, man, especially with the personal beef they have, Mike Ware. The fact that it's been a back and forth with Wilder and Big Baby Miller. They've had like a personal back and forth. You know what I'm saying? More or less from the end of Big Baby Miller, saying a lot of different personal disrespectful things in regards to Wilder. So yeah, man, that fight could definitely get real, man. If they do fight. Mike, where you said Ja knocks out David Benavidez. David has a puncher's chance after round 10. I seen Ja Pattaya gas. Okay, so that's a cool prediction, man. I mean, he could knock out David Benavidez, but it'd be something to see for sure. It'd be something to see. I don't think it wouldn't be in the best interest for David Benavidez to go straight into a fight with Ja Pattaya. I feel like if he's going to fight him, he needs to fight a few more guys at 175 just to see how good he looks. Because if he fights the winner of Bivol versus Peterviev, and he's struggling, it might not be a good look to try to move up to cruiserweight if you're struggling in 175 right now. He might be biting off more than he can chew if he can't convincingly beat Bivol or Peterviev, whoever the winner would be. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, y'all. Hey, what's up, Angelica? Good afternoon to you out in Arizona. Hopefully, you enjoyed that package that you got. Mike Ware, you said I want Bud to win. It's not happening Canelo went blow for blow with Triple G on fight. Hold on 1 second, Mike, where I'm trying to read your statement. But there's an emoji blocking it. Okay. You said you want Bud to win. It's not happening. Canelo went blow for blow with Triple G on fight night. Bud will have been inactive for a year. Canelo has no ring rust, and we know he's been carrying people. Okay, you make a good point, man. Yes. He has been carrying people like he did his last fight when he fought William Skull. He definitely was carrying him, in my strong opinion. He could have probably stopped him if he really wanted to. He just didn't press the action. And Canelo is a vet, man. Canelo Alvarez is a vet. And like I said, he has a very, very good chin. He has power. But even though Triple G went blow for blow with Canelo, I can't say Triple G is as skilled as Bud Crawford. More power? Yeah, for sure. But all around skill. Just think about skill for skill, everything the Bud does in that ring. I think there's going to be a chess match. You know what I'm saying? I think that Canelo will have to cut off the ring. He's going to have to use a lot of energy. And he normally comes on stronger mid rounds to late rounds. Canelo starts to pick up his pace. I think Bud should act early, but not act so early to where he's being overzealous and he's trying to just unload the clip or whatever. He needs to actually methodically try to break down Canelo. And like I said, and you probably already know, Canelo has a very durable chin. So he needs to go to the body of Canelo as much as possible. Bud needs to zone in on the body of Canelo Alvarez from the beginning bell and get to his body as much as he can. Because anytime you go to the body, you can be taking a risk. But go to the body in a smart way and try to wear down Canelo from round 1 up until round 5, round 6. So when Canelo tries to turn up in the late rounds, his body is so badly, his body's so badly, hit or whatever, to where he's gassing out and losing steam. I think that Bud Crawford will have a different plan in motion. You said there's no chess match. You thought of every scenario not happening. I can't stand Canelo. All right, I hear you, Mike Ware, man. We will see, man. We will see, man. I just think that Bud is a pound for pound, talent. And that if it was anybody else we talked about, I'd be like, okay, But Bud, he's like the creme de la creme, man. When it comes to boxing, he is that top dog in boxing. He wants the link. All right, Mike, hold on, JC. We'll get you a link here in a little bit. Angelica, you said, yes, I love the shirt. Thank you. Oh, you are very welcome. You are kindly welcome, for sure. I'm happy you like it. Yeah, man, because, Canelo, he just, to me, I feel like we've seen the best of him. I feel like we've seen the worst case scenario of Canelo when he's not pushing the pace because he's picking these guys that he has to carry or whatever. So we don't really see him turn up. So that's the part of Canelo we can say, okay, we see a Canelo that's not doing a whole lot or whatever. But we've seen Canelo at his peak. We've seen Canelo at his peak. Triple G fights. The first two Triple G fights were peak Canelo. I don't see Canelo being any better right now as he was in his prime. He's on the back end of his career. So I feel like that's another advantage for Bud Crawford. And another thing, Bud Crawford hasn't got a lot of mileage on him. He hasn't been through a lot of different wars in that ring like Canelo has. Canelo had some wars with Triple G. Canelo had wars with a couple of other fighters or whatever. So, with Bud, I feel like he's a little more fresh. I think every little thing when it comes to Bud is going to be critical for him to be successful if he is to beat Canelo Alvarez. And like I said, if anybody could do it, I feel like Bud Crawford could do it, just because he's a very technically sound boxer. He understands the game of boxing, all around the board, like the back of his hand. He knows boxing like I knew a lot of the highways on my day job. I do it so much, traveling through the city of Cincinnati, through the states of Ohio, up in Michigan, and West Virginia, all these different states, to where I started learning these different routes. And I could do a route one way and I could do it in reverse because I did it so many times. I feel like Bud Crawford is like that in boxing. It's like it's a certain it's drilled. It's like a natural drill. He's used to doing it time after time after time after time. And I feel like what he has is something very special. Because like I said, I feel like we've seen the best that Canelo's had to offer in the past. But I don't think we've seen the best that Bud Crawford has to present. I think we're going to see the best version of Bud against Canelo. I think he knows he has to step up. Not just a B plus or just an A minus. He's got to be at an A plus level. And he knows that fighting Canelo, it means everything. And he's not trying to lose. He's talked about it in interviews. Bud said, whatever it takes, I'm going to be the one taking all the belts. That's all me. They belong to me. I'm going to get respect put on my name, this, that, and the other. And I tend to believe him because I can see it in his body language. I can see it in his eyes that Bud Crawford honestly believes he's going to be the person to beat Canelo Alvarez. And by no means is it an easy feat, but in the same aspect, Bud Crawford is a special fighter.